Oh man, so what a crazy 48 to 72 hours it has been in the crypto markets. People have been getting absolutely roiled, right? From influencers to people you and I look up to the average lay person. People are really feeling the pinch right now, and this is the moment where there is literally nowhere to hide. This is what we call capitulation, guys. We've heard the word thrown around, but what is it really? This is it. This is the feeling right now, and I'm going to walk you through this. I'm here in the good times and the bad times. We've got Bitcoin down now, sitting at 28,000, and it fell lower than that. We've got Luna sitting at 5 cents, just when you think it couldn't go lower, and some influencers were telling you to buy the dip. Can you imagine? We're going to cover that as well, and what's going on with Luna. Is there any hope? What am I doing around Luna? What am I doing around Bitcoin? Because it's now getting to a point where is the floor on Bitcoin? What are the key levels? We've got so much to cover off in this video. Make sure you hit up the like button and subscribe. So much content coming your way. We've got to get to the bottom of this, and in these difficult times there's so much unraveling that needs to be done, because I've got a big warning for all of you that if we haven't learned from this UST DPEG, we've got a lot of learning to do. So make sure you stay tuned, hit up the like button, don't forget to subscribe. This video is brought to you by our very own course member live streams, ijaz.uk/member. If you need a helping hand in this lonely time in crypto, join our course member live streams, meet like-minded people. We have 3 times weekly live streams. We've got another one today, so join those live streams and just help bounce your ideas away around with each other. You get access to ask me any questions on tokenomics, technical analysis, and much more. Right, let's look at this chart, guys. Look at this horrible Fantom down 13%. Let's look at Bitcoin more importantly, because everything is following Bitcoin, and you can see Bitcoin on my really messy chart, which I need to tidy up, fell as low on this candle here, on the daily candle. It fell as low as 25,000. Can you believe it? 25,000 here on the low here. If you had a limit order sitting at 25,300 or above, you would have got a lovely entry there. But the question is, where is our next level of support? And for those of you who can see here, my next level of support comes down to the level of 24,000. Now you're probably wondering, where does that support come from? And if we zoom out, you can see there's a little bit of support which comes in around December time 2020. Okay, that's this period here before you went on your massive run all the way up. Now the tricky thing is there's no other support from 24 all the way up to that level, because if I zoom in to this period here, if I show you what this looks like, you will then understand. Just go zoom in here. There we go. And as you can see, this run up after December 2020, once you broke through the 24,000 level, it was a clean run all the way up to 40,000 at the time. Then you came down and created the support which we were using for a long time at about 30,029. So therefore, there's nothing in this space here. There's nothing here, and therefore you can run down to 24. There's very little support in that area. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean you can't create a new level of support, but we need to work with the probabilities, right? And the probabilities are we're very likely to head to 24. You can already see the bears wicked it down to 25, and any little rally to the upside, please do not get caught up in buying that. These are not the bottoms just yet, right? The bears are in complete control, and the price is getting pushed to the downside. Look at the volume candles. You cannot say otherwise that the bears are not in complete control. If I bring out for what it's worth, the EMA ribbon, look at that. Disaster, straight to the downside. And this, guys, we know there's weakness in the economy. We know that the global economy was not on our side. Risk was off, but that would not have led to this. This extra bleed is due to the contagion around the whole Luna saga. This is what we need to understand, is that if we don't learn from these lessons in crypto, this will continue to happen. And the irony is, it can just take a bad project or two to cause this to Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin has been maturing. Yes, it's got stronger. Yes, the adoption is greater. There's more money in Bitcoin now. There's more institutional adoption in Bitcoin. But this can still spook the markets. Who are we to think we're any different from the existing fiat system, right? Who have the same issues going on all the time. Hedge funds have been playing these attacks in stock markets since the creation of stock markets, right? Hedge funds have always been doing short attacks. You guys have seen Wall Street, you've seen all these programs. These things have been happening. So if we're not building a system which is robust enough to be able to handle these things, then we need to take a clean look in the mirror, right? If we're not creating algorithmically backed stable coins, which have taken these things into consideration, we need to have a deep look at ourselves. And yes, I know there's no point jumping on somebody's grave right now, but Kwon was really oblivious to these things. People were tweeting him. We covered this off. There were tweets at him saying this exact thing could happen. And you saw my video, I believe it was yesterday, where we spoke about George Soros. George Soros didn't just attack, he broke the Bank of England, he attacked the GBP, he then went to, he then attacked American pesos, he attacked the Thai baht, he even tried the Chinese yen, and he even tried the Hong Kong dollar, right? Once you've seen it works, you then try to rinse and repeat. And that is the worry right now, and that is why we're seeing so much red in the markets, because what's next? If it was Terra USDT that's gone down now and depegged, look at the others. Look at what's going on with DAI. Down 31%, right, in 30 days. So DAI, you got to keep an eye on. Tether, we've seen some movement in Tether. Look at you can see here on the spark lines, you can see some movement. Frax, Magic Internet Money. You've got to keep an eye on all of these. And my message to all our course members and in our Discord was you need to stay out of these stable coins for now. You need to, and I've always been a proponent of staying away from stablecoins. A lot of people like to because they're getting crazy APYs. But remember, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Have a little bit of caution. Why do you have to be so greedy? Is 3-4% not enough? Why do you need 20%? Right? And, you know, again, I shared those clips yesterday from September 2021, where I mentioned I was fearful of this stablecoin issue and of this rehypothecation problem with under-collateralized stablecoins. This is a problem. We know it's a problem. We know the SEC were on top of stablecoins for a long time because they saw this happening. They banned Coinbase's Lend program, which, by the way, was trying to do the same as Anchor. Right? It was trying to give people competitive yields because they saw everybody was going decentralized across to Anchor instead of lending with Coinbase. But the SEC intervened. But nobody can intervene in decentralized. That's why we get these issues, such as what we've had with UST. And I want to play this to you as well, because the reality is the clues were there. Okay, so, and let's take a look at this. I mean, I don't want to jump on somebody's gravestone, right? But the reality is, if you've got a founder, and yes, loads of people say Do Kwon is smart. Me too. I think he's super smart. But the reality is, if you're going to be saying things like this and having this kind of an attitude, it's not great. Let's have a play of this.
I wonder how many of these companies you think are entering the space just because it's hot and there's a lot of funding versus the ones that will still be here, you know, like 2 to 5 years later.
95% are going to die.
Yeah.
95% are going to die. Yeah. But yeah, there's also entertainment in watching companies die too.
There's entertainment. Oh man, that's so evil. At least you get to learn from it, right?
And this is the thing. Sometimes you can just get people who get caught up in their own hype. And somebody like Do Kwon was getting caught up in that. You could see in the way he was tweeting, in the kind of, you know, people call it charisma, but there's an element of arrogance, right? If people are telling you actively, watch out, this is what happened with the George Soros type attack, Luna's open to that. Can you look at it? And he's just giving nonchalant responses like, you know, people don't understand what they're talking about. This is what happens. At the time he was attacking Cardano. You know, this is just, this is something where you need to be very careful. We saw that happening. Okay, so that is what it is, and we need to make sure we're staying out of stablecoins. If you're in stablecoins, you should only be in it for a very short time whilst you're going to buy either your crypto or you're coming back into fiat. I don't want to see loads of people sitting on stablecoins because, trust me, the rest are going to get targeted. If George Soros taught us anything, once there's been a successful formula, he went and he repeated. That's the key message now. We can also see crypto fear and greed index is sitting at 12, low. Okay, extreme fear. Interestingly, it was at 10 and then it's climbed up a little bit to 12, probably because, I don't know, the reading doesn't want to go any lower, but it's extreme fear. It's extreme fear. The markets are extremely fearful, and we're looking at a potential price point at 24,000. Now, I'm nibbling at these levels. I'm nibbling, and I'm going to purchase heavier the closer we get to 24. If we break 24 and start heading towards our next support line, which is 20, the purchases will become even heavier. I'm not going to be going crazy on altcoins right now, guys. If the altcoins come to really crazy, if they start falling as Bitcoin obviously naturally goes towards 24, I will top up a little bit, but I'm making sure that I'm keeping the anchor of my ship strong, and that is Bitcoin. I know that I'm not going to regret having too much Bitcoin, okay? Because that is the anchor. That's the behavior we need to get into. Unfortunately, people do the opposite. What was I talking about for 6-7 months? I was strictly talking about holding a balanced portfolio, and I can be boring, right? It doesn't get the clicks when it says, oh, hold 50% Bitcoin in your portfolio. No, everybody wanted Solana. Everybody wanted loads of Fantom, right? Not a little allocation like I had. They wanted loads of Fantom. They wanted loads of Luna. They got carried away, including big crypto influencers who you follow. And now you've seen the fruition of that. You've seen what's happened. And yes, it's a you can call it a black swan event, but these things happen. Right? These things happen, and maybe it doesn't happen to the extent of Luna, like 95% down, but you get big drawdowns in any given project, right? Kind of what Do Kwon just said there, 95% of projects will go down. We know that, but now we've proven that even a top 10 can go down, and when it does happen, it happens quickly, and it can even happen to Bitcoin. I know it sounds horrible, and it's the most battle-tested one we have to date, but the reality is it can happen to Bitcoin too. So we need to hold a certain allocation in Bitcoin, and we need to spread the rest out in a sensible allocation, which I've been saying since I started making videos. right? Sounds boring, but in times like this, you'll understand why. And now you're going to see all those influencers come out and say the same. But those were the same influencers who were telling you, load up on Luna, load up on the whole Luna ecosystem, and even the decks on Luna, jump onto that. No. Do you ever see me making videos on that? As many videos as I've made on Fantom, do you see me talking too much about the protocols? No, because I know they're hyper small market cap. And even Fantom alone, I've mentioned and stressed its low market cap. Hold it with a degree of caution. Hold it as a small percentage of your portfolio. A small percentage of your layer 1 allocations, which in there should be Solana, should be ADA, should be some other good layer 1 solutions to balance it out, right? Not just Fantom. And that's how you should treat your portfolio. But now, let's not focus on the gloom. Let's focus on where we're at. Because the reality is, if you're in the markets now, you've got this great opportunity. And I don't mean to be a sadist, because a lot of people's portfolios are down, including many really good experienced investors. But the reality is, you've now, if you zoom out and wake up, you go, hang on a second. Has anything changed fundamentally with Bitcoin? Because if it has, then okay, that justifies what's happened. If not, do we not have a crazy discount right now? Am I dreaming that we could be getting a 25, 24, 23k Bitcoin? If so, I need to be prepared. What did I say I was going to do if we got that chance, right? Loads of people were tweeting when Bitcoin was going towards 100,000, right? And we were guaranteed it's going towards 100,000. I remember reading tweets, I will sell my left kidney to get Bitcoin at 20,000 again. Well, you're getting close, right? You're getting close to 24. Are you selling your kidney? Are you even not buying Luna and taking another bet on Luna to go and buy some serious Bitcoin at a discount right now? And that is the key, because the reality is loads of people are still trying to place crazy bets on Luna. Look at ApeCoin. ApeCoin's up 10%. People trying to buy certain high speculative plays because that's human psychology. Nobody wants the boring play today that is Bitcoin. But the reality is you need to build your whole portfolio. I'm happy for you to buy an altcoin. Like I said, I'm going to nibble on some altcoins as well. But I'm going to be strict. If I'm buying a little bit of Fantom, if I'm buying a little bit of Solana, if I'm buying a little bit of ADA at some discounts, I'm going to force myself to go buy some Bitcoin to balance the portfolio. Remember that anchor is needed in stormy conditions. But now you need to go ahead and do that work. Let me also share this from CoinBureau. A really nice tweet from CoinBureau, who shares the chart of US dollar versus Bitcoin. He says, when you zoom out, it's actually been a bloodbath for years, suggesting, look, Bitcoin is doing really well and the US dollar is the one that's tanking and we shouldn't be too worried. Nice sentiment there. We also had the update from Terra. Okay, so this is Terra Money official Twitter page. The prevailing peg pressure on UST from its current supply overhang is rendering severe dilution of Luna. The primary obstacle is expelling the bad debt from UST circulation at a clip fast enough for the system to restore the health of on-chain spreads. To expedite these goals, several measures are being taken. First, the current Prop 1164 will expand the base pool size and accelerate the burn rate, helping deflate on-chain spreads. Okay, so then TFL, Terraform Labs, is also initiating 3 more emergency actions. Proposal to burn the remaining UST in the community pool. TFL will burn the remaining 371 million UST cross-chain on Ethereum, and then TFL would stake 240 million Luna to defend from the network governance attacks. Okay, so we can see they've got a bunch of proposals. They've mentioned what they're doing here, and their idea is to get the bad actors out, to let it all kind of fall back down and then rebuild, right? That's what Kwon said in his tweet, and that's what these actions are about. But the reality is even if they can restore the peg, has trust not been lost? The other element, which loads of people are not talking about now, is you've got huge, big investors who've taken huge losses on Luna. Guess what? Out of like nostalgia or out of just no point to, they've just not sold, right? So what does this mean? They're kind of sitting on just a little bit of hope. I mean, if they sell, they might make a couple of pounds, right? A couple of dollars. They're sitting on that hope that maybe it'll start to recover. But then what does that mean? If it does start to recover, if the peg does restore and Luna does start to recover, you can have all of these people exiting different stages, laddering out, and that is going to prevent any solid short recovery in Luna. This is a hugely long way back for Luna. Like, they really need to rise out from the depths, and Kwon backs himself to do it, right? He said he's going to rebuild, and some people will believe him and some people will back him, but the reality is there's just people who have left dead money in there just hoping now. That's just hopium, right? They've left that in there hoping. And those who are dollar cost averaging, because again, there's some influence out there who said they're dollar cost averaging their Luna position down, right? So they were buying at $1. So I know there's one particular huge influencer who was buying yesterday at $1 to balance his portfolio down, to bring his cost level down of his Luna. And now Luna is sitting at 4 cents. He was buying at $1. It's done it's 20th of where it was from there. Crazy. And the reality is, I've always said, loads of people ask me, because I always talk about conviction. They always ask me, okay, so then when are you going to sell a coin? And the reality is, I will sell a coin when something fundamentally changes about a project. And this is a great example of that. Luna is not the same project you invested in 4 days ago when it was sitting at higher levels. It's just not, right? Fundamentally, something has been uncovered, right? Imagine you've got a relationship with a best friend or something like that, and you find out something about them, right? They've done something, they've done a crime, or they've committed some sort of unethical act. It changes the way you think about them. You can't just erase it and say, oh, they're the same person as they were before. Same for crypto. Luna is not the same project. The price can maybe go back, right? You can start climbing back up slowly again. But it's not the same project. There's a fundamental flaw in the technology. And these are the kind of things that would make me sell out of a position, even at a loss. Because this can happen to any project. It can happen to Fantom. It can happen to Cardano. It can happen to Solano. Any project can uncover a flaw. And you have to be real at that point. Say, okay, I'm taking a loss on that part of my portfolio, but I'm still in the game. Let's go find the next one. But you can't do that if you're 80% committed to a project, right? And your whole portfolio is on Luna or Fantom or even Bitcoin, right? That is not an investment allocation. That is not sophisticated or sustainable investing. So there you have it, guys. Now is the time to stay astute. You're getting some crazy price points. If you're smart and you learn about how to do this and how to build your portfolio allocations in the right way, the things you do today you'll thank yourself for in 2 to 3 years time. But there's no doubt about it, right now is a difficult moment. There's severe retracements, whether you're in the stock market, whether you're in crypto, whether you're in just Bitcoin. You're still hugely down from where we're at, let alone if you have a selection of altcoins. And for those of you with crazy allocations on just altcoins without some of the bigger plays, you're going to be feeling it even more. So there you go, guys. If you like my perspective, hit up the like button and subscribe. Don't forget, if you like my perspective and you want to join our course member live streams, 3 times weekly live streams, ijaz.uk/member, jump into those, meet like-minded people. We can discuss tokenomics, what I'm doing in the market in real time, and navigate these tricky times together. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.